Okay, so the little deflector clamps sit that way underneath the frame. Sitting underneath there, line up your knob, screw that in a couple of 1 or 2 threads. Do that to both sides. Get your deflector. This bit here is actually going to be sitting, these 2 clips are going to be sitting down over the sole plate. So we very carefully take this guy in here. Position, stretch the paint. So you can see that there, that's the clips from the back of the deflector sitting on the sole plate. Next, these guys here are going to have to go into that gap that the brackets, these brackets that you put in form. I'm going to have to use a little bit of strength to push that steel down. Matter of getting that into roughly the position you want that to be in. Clearance from the wheel there, and nothing's touching the rollers, that's all nice. So you can just do up your knobs then, and they will tighten down onto those metal bars off the deflector. You might have some nice fresh fancy brass ones. I just like to crank those ones up. That's nice and tight there now. Before we turn this guy back around, just going to put in these guys. I honestly think there's a better idea than these. Just haven't come up with it yet. The idea is for the square side to go on with the rover they actually screw on. A screw to screw them on, which that might help. So you just push them on. I'm going to get my trusty little rubber mallet and go home. Square side on. Can't really get this too wrong. Rubber caps and mounts, and there's a little sneak preview. It's a little sneak preview prior to having all our decals on. Let's have a look at this. Right, it's going to come on here like this. Alright, that's good. I'm glad I've done this. Looks like I'm going to have to take a little bit of paint off that I've put on the front there. Those guys don't want to go down. Alright. That gives me that little bit of an idea. So I've already spent ages putting this in the position I wanted it to be in. Didn't figure there was any point having you guys watch me do all of that, because it took forever for me to decide. Where you have it on the height of cut will change the level of the decal in relation to where you're looking at it from the side. I'm going to be going quite high because I'm going to have a high height of cut, and so consequently mine's going to be on a bit of an angle anyway. If it goes all the way down to the lowest cut, it's going to be on an angle. If it's sitting in the middle where I've got it sitting roughly now, it's going to be nice and level, so that's where I'm setting that. Okay, I'm going with the hinge method. There's numerous methods that have been shown on inside the community videos and also on YouTube. I like this hinge method. I'm also going to go with the liquid method, the wet method, just because it gives you that bit of ability to be able to move around if things don't come great. I've got myself just a credit card wrapped in some tissue there. I've also got another rag. It's about this point where things start to go pear-shaped. The wet method didn't work very well for me at all, and I ended up stuffing around with it because the decal ended up separating into different little areas rather than staying in one piece. So I fiddled about with it, ended up with a result, but without the dry method I did the second decal and it turned out much better. There it is, in all its beauty. Okay, now we'll move on to the medallion. This one's the one that really took time. To get this tiny writing on such a small little diameter was not easy, and Brad worked real hard to do it, and I'm confident it was going to be able to be done, and I've got to say, it looks spectacular. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to quickly heat it up, and I'm going to stick it on. Pull the backing tape off. You can find it, it's like any sticky tape. Okay, so on roughly about right there. Cloth, push it on there, make sure all the air bubbles are out and that you're as centered to the cutout as possible. Beautiful. Okay, same as usual, we want to give it a really good clean up with the alcohol, rubbing alcohol, whatever alcohol you might have, or whatever cleaning you might have. So a nice clean surface. Okay. Right, as usual, I've spent a fair amount of time getting my marking up perfectly, and I just want to heat this up. So heating this guy up probably isn't as imperative because there's no curvature on this side of the mower, but I do like the fact that heating it up melts the glue a little bit, getting it a little more ready for adhesion to the mower. Pulling the backing paper off. I've been assured this is a very sticky adhesive, so I'm fairly confident that it's going to do the job. Okay, so this guy is, as I say, already marked up and ready to go, so I just need to put that exactly that spot right there, and then push it on, getting rid of any air bubbles. Move that tape out of there. Going nicely all the way around all edges. Now, other than Brad's mower, I've not yet seen these resin-filled decals on any other mower. I know that Brad sold some and done some. I've seen them, so they are out there. So if you've got any mowers with the 3D resin filled decals, drop a little message down in the comments below, and maybe even a photo, and show me what yours looks like, because mine looks great. Thanks for watching my video series. It's been a blast making the videos, other than the punish, which is the edit. I've learned heaps, and all going well in my next series, which is building the groomer. It'll be even better series, because I'm going to be able to learn from the mistakes that I've made in this first one, and clean up and tidy up a little bit and make it a little bit more interesting and exciting. But anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed the series. Hope you've got one or two tips out of it that are helpful. And from Building Scott Bonner's, I'm out.